And so let me get to the point here. Just like you can communicate in that realm where there's all this activity going on, the same realm, you can communicate with God, you can also communicate with other beings. And they can communicate with you. And this includes deceased human spirits, but there's other types of entities. There are other beings who were not born in the physical realm. They were actually born, created in the spiritual realm. And some of them, like humans, have chosen to go towards God and surrender to him, and some have rebelled against him. Some are very good, and some are very, very bad. And we think in terms of angels and demons, but even that is not enough. It's more complicated than that, but we're not going to explain all of that today, okay? The point with Samuel here is that some people do have a greater ability to commune with the spiritual realm, including those who are in the spirits in the spiritual realm. They have a type of spiritual antenna, and we all have it. We all have it. It's very probable that it's connected to the brain God gave you. And I think it has something to do with the pituitary gland and some other things that science, it's still a mystery to. But the point is, some people have a more active part of their brain, a more stronger spiritual antenna than others, and they can tune into the spiritual realm. And those people are destined to walk in the prophetic. But a lot of them get caught in other realms of the spirit, outside of the prophetic spirit of Christ. Okay? And throughout the Bible, in the Old and New Testament, both, this is not just Old Testament, Old and New Testament, God says to his people, do not participate with those who speak to any spirit other than my own. God says very clearly, don't go after psychics and mediums who are connecting with the realm of the dead. Now, why is that? We don't get much of an explanation in the Bible. But when my kids ask me why they're not allowed to go on the internet freely, by themselves, unrestricted, I don't give them a really thorough explanation either. Because of their age right now. Okay, I don't want to introduce them to certain concepts that they are not ready to receive. Okay? When they're little, I just ask them to trust me. And I will give just enough information to explain that, hey, Daddy has a good reason. And I want to be with you when you get on that computer. I want it open in the room with Mommy and Daddy in your formative years. No computers in the bedroom. Another sermon. I'm tempted, going in a lot of different directions here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So it's the same with us, right? We have to trust our Father. We have to trust our Father. Now, I know, let me acknowledge something here. I know there are stories of people going to psychics and mediums, and they receive encouraging words from loved ones who have passed away. But here's my response to that, okay? My kids could go onto YouTube freely and find really good things. But you know what? I'm still not going to let them do it without my presence and my involvement. Eventually, my kids are going to grow up, and by the grace of God and prayer, they'll be able to handle the realm of YouTube. Eventually, they will graduate into a new phase of life where they could handle more things. And eventually, human beings will mature in their relationship with God enough to handle the fullness of the spiritual realm. But for now, talking openly with spirits, including the spirits of those who've passed on, is off limits. And I don't care that people have good experiences. My dad still says, hey, it's off limits, and I want you to trust me. Okay? Now, listen, this is important too. God can still choose to bring a deceased loved one to a person in a dream oftentimes, or a vision, okay? And or give a sign of their presence in a way after they've passed. Listen, if somebody gets encouraged by a sign, their loved one, okay, there's, again, a lot of strange philosophy, strange ideas out there, like all this weird. Listen, God is blessing them with something. God can choose to encourage someone and bring their loved one to them in a dream. And I know people who have experienced that. And some people might even be in this room, right? I won't ask you to raise your hands, but I bet there'd be a couple hands raised if I asked you about this. So nothing wrong with that, but we're not to seek after that ourselves, okay? God can choose to bring that. He gets to run the show here, okay? He's Father. We're His children. This is where we trust. So obviously God's trying to protect us. I could say that too. There are deceptive spirits out there. If you open up unrestricted spiritual Wi-Fi access in your life, you will invite a lot of confusion and deception and other things. So, that's part of the answer.